about starting a company, making men's clothes for women. And, we're going to start with a Kickstarter campaign. And if we can raise $87,000, then we'll know that we have a good idea. And then I can leverage that to raise money from other people. All my research says I'm going to need like $1 million to get this thing done. Mr. Moon? Oh, I didn't even know he was sick. I'm so sorry. Well, please send Miss Moon my condolences. That was my mother. Please don't worry about the moons. Every time I talk to my mother, she gives me what we call the death and dying report. I don't even remember the moons. She might not even remember the moons. My mother is one of those angel people who's always helping other people. I'm not bragging. I'm complaining. I spent my whole life trying to get my mother's attention. This is what I've learned about getting her attention. 1, you can be sick. But my mother's a surgical nurse, so you can't just be regular sick. This is what my mother thinks of regular sick. Mary Louise, get those lazy bones up off that couch and get to school. You have to be like cancer, dying sick in order to get her attention. Or 2, you could stab somebody. I know, this one surprised me too. But my uncle stabbed somebody, went to the federal prison, and damned if they didn't start talking all the time. Williamsburg Penitentiary, will you accept a collect call? Why, yes, I will. Every time, multiple times a week. Plus, she'd send him cigarettes, money, toothpaste, shampoo. It was ridiculous. The third way you can get my mother's attention, you can be Carl. Carl is my father, twice removed. He's not Jack, my birth father, who didn't know about me until I was 30. He's not Mac, who was married to my mother, Dot, in 1967 when they adopted me. Carl is number 3, who came after my mother divorced Mac. Jack, Mac, Dot, Carl. My entire childhood consisted of my mother chasing Carl, and Carl not really being caught, but not exactly going away. We're in the hardware store. Do you think Carl would like this flashlight for the boat? We're in JCPenney. Do you think Carl would like this on me? She's talking to the neighbor. Carl just hired a new man at the station. Carl this, Carl that, Carl. Mama, our Kickstarter is only 8 days in and we've already reached our $87,000 goal. Miss Thaxton is in the hospital? Oh, I'm so sorry. She chased him hard. One time she was convinced he was dating Diana, some woman named Diana. Get up, get your sister up, get in the car. I know he's with that Diana again. Get up, get in the car. We chased him around many nights. I felt so guilty the year of Diana because she had bought us these bathing suits that had women's names printed on them. Shirley, Mary, Laura, Diana. Every time we wore those bathing suits, that dadgum Diana. This is what it was like when he came over. And he was over all the time. He would say, when he left, he would say, "Good night, young'uns." My mom would say, "I love you, Carl. Take 2 aspirin, you'll feel better in the morning." Every time he was over. I mean, how many times have I witnessed this? They started dating when I was like 9 years old. That's like 52 weeks in a year. Like, what, over 1,000 times I have witnessed this. Mama, our Kickstarter is the 7th highest fashion Kickstarter ever. Miss Barnett? Oh, I'm so sorry. I know it seems like she's not paying attention. She's not. But our Kickstarter success means that we can leverage this to raise money, because that's what venture capitalists are looking for, right? They're looking to invest in something that can make money for them, and when you have proof, like a big successful Kickstarter, well, that's exactly what they're looking for, right? Carl and I are both entrepreneurs. Carl has a gas station in Greenville, South Carolina. Venture capital is stupid. You want to know how to make money? I'll tell you how to make money. You work hard. That's how you make money. You start small, like I did. I bought a lawnmower when I was in high school, and I mowed lawns day in and day out, and I saved my money, and then I bought a riding lawnmower, and then I bought a weed eater, and then a tree trunk grinder. That's how you do it. You build it up. Venture capital is stupid. Loaning money, borrowing money is stupid. That's just impatient. But I was impatient. I wanted to change everything. Look, there's the women's department and the men's department and nothing in between. I wanted to change that, and you need so much money to change that. Plus, this is Silicon Valley, right? You don't start a small, profitable company. You start an exciting company, a company that requires venture capital, a company that can scale, a company that disrupts. Mama, we're in the New York Times. Miss Coley? Oh, so sorry. So sorry. We're growing, but I'm having a hard time raising the money. I just heard that women get 2.3% of all venture capital deals. And fashion companies have gone out of fashion for VCs. Who would have thought? Mama, Leah Delaria is modeling for us. You know, from Orange is the New Black. Well, next time you log on to Netflix to watch Murder, She Wrote, it'll be right there at the top. It's a big deal. Miss Whidden? Was she sick? Oh, I'm so sorry. Carl says that I'm belly aching when I'm complaining about people not being able to, women not being able to raise money. He says I'm belly aching. Get to work. That's what you should do. Well, he's right. I mean, I should just work harder. We should get scrappy. Martha, do we have any money on any credit cards left? Mama, we're in the San Francisco Chronicle and the Oakland Tribune. Miss Simpson? Well, I mean, her husband was old, right? Carl worked every day, all day, from sun up to sundown. He never stopped working, and this he and my mother had in common. We were the first to arrive at daycare and the last kids to be picked up. And often she would pick us up and drive us around to her patient's house while she gave them shots or changed their wounds or, gave them an IV. I can't tell you how many people's butts I've seen getting their B12 shots. My wife would tell you this is what we have in common. But I know I could work harder. But I like my wife. I like my kids. I want to go home. I want to spend time with them. It's hard to choose between them, but I want to be them. I don't want to be them. I want my business to be successful. I want to have a marriage. I want to have my kids. Mama, we're in Fortune magazine. Miss Masters? Oh, sorry. We keep growing, but we're still not raising the money. You want to know what scrappy is? Scrappy is when I should hire someone with a fashion degree and 10 years experience, but that person would cost $100,000. So, and I can't afford that. So I hire somebody who has no experience for $18 an hour. She's very smart, but of course she can't do the job. And so I add some hours onto my work week. And Scrappy is, we have so many orders, and I should hire an entire person to ship and pack orders, but I can't afford that. So I add some hours onto my work week. And Scrappy is, we have the same software that we had when we had 50 orders a month, and now we have 500 orders a month, but I can't afford to replace it. So I add some hours onto my work week. Mama, we're going to be in the Startup Podcast. They're going to feature us in an entire episode. Miss Maury? I thought she was already dead. They called, you know what, we could cut costs. We could cut costs if we went to China and made the garments in China. Carl would definitely do it. He would definitely do it because, I know he would, because he was always buying and selling stolen goods. I mean, you know it's stolen when the guy brings in the car stereo, without a car. He doesn't have a car. And charges you 10 cents on the dollar. He bought and sold food stamps. And look, China gets a bad rap, right? I mean, 20 million people were starving to death in the 1950s and 60s. So when they built all those factories, it's not like they're demons. They were trying not to starve to death. So of course people in China need a job just like people in the United States. I could do it, but I can't do it because people in the United States have worked so hard to get worker safety and at least a minimum wage. I mean, maybe if they had union labor in China, or maybe if they had worker-owned cooperatives, but they don't. They haven't had their revolution yet. I can't do it. I can't do it. Mama, we have a 5-page spread in Curve magazine. I can't remember her. So sorry. Okay. They called Carl the Marble Lion because he never shows any emotions at all. Not happiness, not sadness, not being angry, not even being happy. In this way, I'm more like my mother. My mother's one track is anger. I work and work my fingers to the bones, and you girls never appreciate anything. That's my mother. And this is me. Believe it or not, I want you to get every customer what they ordered. Not all, not most customers, not some customers. Can you get every goddamn customer their goddamn order? My mother finally did catch Carl. Sometime when we were grown, they got married. But things started to change then. They're at a hardware store. Carl, put that fertilizer in the trunk. Quit diddling around. Get that fertilizer over in the trunk. They're at JCPenney. Carl, quit talking to those women. Get over here and hold my handbag so I can try this on. She's talking to the neighbor. That man would lose his head if it wasn't fastened on. Carl this, Carl that. The man can't catch a break. Maybe she just likes to chase. And he, once she caught him, he wasn't all that interesting. Or maybe it's because they have never had a physical relationship. She told me. She told me the last time I was there. In 42 years, they have never had sex. You know what this means, right? It's obvious, right? He's gay? This is how I'm like Carl. Mama! We got into 500 startups! It's harder to get into than Harvard. Miss Mullinax? Bye, Miss Mullinax. We failed. I failed. I fucking failed it! I couldn't raise the money. We kept growing and growing, but I couldn't raise the money. I begged, borrowed, stealed, racked up my entire credit card limit, and got money from other people, friends who may not be my friends anymore, and I fucking failed it. I did not quit. I did not quit. I got all the way to the end of no more money in the bank. Even now, 5 years later, 19,000 fashion Kickstarters, and we are still in the top 100, and I cannot get my mother's attention.
No.
Oh, fuck, I am 50 years old, and I am still trying to get my mother's attention. Maybe I could stab somebody.